I would like to invite you to join me in a tapping sequence to support our friends who are really just going through it. And the goal ultimately for this tap today is to reassure the nervous system that we're safe, so that we feel safe to feel these emotions and allow ourselves to kind of ride the waves of grief rather than be knocked down by them. For the main emotion that we are referencing here in the tapping sequence, I'm going to be using grief. If there is something different that resonates stronger for you, please substitute that word. Maybe it's that anger, emptiness, sadness, something else. So if there's a different emotion that comes up for you, go ahead and substitute that for grief. If you're like, I don't know, I'm just here to tap along, that's wonderful, and just you can follow my lead in that case. So what we're gonna do is measure how intense the feeling is. So as always, on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 is low, meaning it's whatever, doesn't bother. 10, on the other hand, is the worst thing ever, right? So somewhere between that, you're going to assess how you're feeling. So sometimes you need to take a nice easy breath, close your eyes, and just drop in and say, okay, how am I feeling? How intense is it? Once you have your number, jot it down, because we will come back and kind of compare at the end. So just a couple FYIs. If you have tissues nearby, I recommend you grab them just in case. You never know, stuff comes up. And also, if you have water that you can have handy, that is also recommended. We will be adding one additional tapping point in this sequence. This one's also a little bit awkward, so apologies in advance. If this is not something that you want to do, just skip it, it's fine. But this point is on the front of the ribs. So for women, a guidance point would be the underwire line. So it's right there on the front of your chest. You can use the side of your hands and kind of karate chop right there, or you can use your fingers just tapping on the front of your ribs here. So that's the last point that we're going to be doing in each round. So I think that's all that we need to know. So before we actually get to the tapping, let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths. So in through the nose, blowing it out through the mouth. So we'll take 3, right? So nice easy breath in. Just relaxing into your seat. One more. Blowing out all the air. Last one, nice easy breath in. And letting it go. Okie doke. So if you are ready, tap along and repeat after me. Starting on the side of the hand. Even though I feel this grief, and my life is so dark right now, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though this grief feels big and overwhelming, and I can barely get myself out of bed in the morning, I choose to completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel this intense grief, and it takes a lot of energy to take care of myself, I choose to completely love and accept myself and all of my feelings. Okay, great. Moving to the top of the head. This intense grief, it's all I can think about. I wish it would go away. This grief is so big. It's paralyzing. It's hard to get up in the morning. And I just want to stay in bed forever. This dark grief, it feels so unfair. Okay, back to the top of the head. This big, overwhelming grief, It's ruined my life. I can barely take care of myself now. This huge dark cloud of grief. It feels like I'll never be happy again. This massive grief. I feel so empty. And it's scary. I just want all of this to go away. I want to wake up from this bad dream. Back to the top of the head. How will I ever feel happy again? This grief makes it feel impossible. What if it is impossible? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But I wonder what would be possible for me if I could accept these feelings. If instead of trying to push them away, I embraced them. What if I could view them as a visitor instead of as an intruder? Under the arms. Maybe it won't be today or tomorrow, but I'm open to one day accepting this grief. And I choose to forgive myself for rejecting this grief. Top of the head. You're doing great. Take a nice, easy breath in through the nose. And blowing out. Maybe this grieving part of me needs acceptance too. My grieving part. What do you need? What do I need? I'm choosing to give myself so much compassion. And I give myself permission to take things one day at a time. I'm doing the best that I can. And that's enough. I accept that some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. This grief is just a visitor, and it won't be here forever. And I'm open to getting to know it now. Top of the head. My grieving part. It's going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. This grief is uncomfortable, and I want my body to know that it's safe to feel this way. I forgive myself for trying to numb it or push it away. I am open to feeling my feelings and then letting them move on. Thanks for visiting, but it's time to go. I am safe and secure, even in this grief. All right, so let's let that go. If you need to shake it out at all, take a stretch, please feel free. any kind of movement that would feel good, I recommend it right now. And let's go ahead and take a nice easy breath. Into the nose, out to the mouth, just like we've been doing. If you want to sigh it out, that's great too. So yeah, let's do that. Breathing in and letting it out. Seriously, just it's a great release, but it's also fun. So if you didn't do that, go ahead and do it now. Also, if you have water nearby, now would be a wonderful time to take a sip or two. If not, no worries, just have something to drink after this video. So now that we've gone through that tapping sequence, let's measure and see how the intensity feels now. Okay, so again, from 0 to 10, 0 is whatever, doesn't bother, 10, worst thing ever. So between 0 and 10, how in this present moment do you feel? So close your eyes, nice easy breath, drop in what's coming up for you. You can write down your number and compare. Has the number changed from when we started the tapping round? Sometimes the number only moves a little bit, and that's okay. Other times we feel a lot differently in our bodies. And that's kind of what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to calm the body, relax the body so that it knows it's safe. Even though these uncomfortable feelings come up, we're safe, it's okay, let them move through, and we're gonna be okay, right? So one other thing I wanted to mention is after this tapping round, you might notice that you feel a little bit tired. And if that is true for you, that's completely normal, because what we just did was move a lot of energy. It doesn't look like much, just tapping on your head and face, right? But inside, there's a lot of stuff going on, and you did a lot of work, believe it or not. So kudos to you for tapping along. Even if it's not something that you personally felt you needed in this moment, I do hope that you got something out of it, if at the very least, just to feel a more relaxed and calm state. If you or someone that you know could use support in moving through the emotions of grief or emotional overwhelm in general, please reach out, send me a message, or contact me through my website, taptoshinewellness.com, so that we can connect and work through this together. Because while healing is a very personal and individual journey, you don't have to go it alone. And I speak from experience saying it makes a big difference trying to navigate the darkness by yourself versus having someone there with you, guiding you and helping you feel safe along the way. So if that is something that you are interested in or would like to hear more information about, please get in touch, because I would love to chat with you about that and help you feel better. Ultimately, that's the goal, for people to feel better and to feel more confident and bright in their lives. So lots of love and light to you. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and give yourself a little or a lot of compassion. You deserve it. By being human, you deserve it. So I will see you next week for the next installment of Tapping Tuesday. Until then, take care and keep shining.